Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call this section 3.3. This is my third video for this part. I see that in this particular inequality, 4 would be the least common denominator. Now, the important thing to decide here is how many times to multiply through by 4. 3/4 times the quantity 2x minus 1 is one term, not 2. 2x minus 1 is inside a bubble. It's being multiplied by 3/4. It only counts as one term, so it's only going to get multiplied one time by the LCD. 1/2 times the quantity 5x minus 3. 5x minus 3 is in a bubble. That is only going to get multiplied through by the LCD one time. Now this plus is not in a bubble, so that means when I go past it, I'm moving on to another term. So 1 is a separate term. It's going to get multiplied by 4 as well. So follow me. When I take the first term and multiply by 4, which is 4 over 1, the 4's cancel, and I distribute the 3. 3 times 2x, the quantity 2x minus 1, becomes 6x minus 3. The bubble's removed. When I go to this term, 1/2 times the bubble, 5x minus 3, and I multiply by 4, which is 4 over 1. 2 goes into the 4 twice. You see the 2 here. I distribute that 2 to inside the bubble. That gives me 10x minus 6. And remember that 1 is a completely separate term, so it needs to be multiplied by the LCD. 1 times 4 is 4. Now, the very next thing I'm going to do, 6x minus 3 is fine. Less than or equal to is fine. I'm going to collect like terms. 10x minus 2. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make sure that the x's end up on the left, the constants on the right. Therefore I'm going to add 3 to both sides of the inequality. -2 plus 3 is 1. I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides of the inequality. 6x minus 10x is a -4x, or the opposite of 4x. And what I'm then going to do is divide by -4. And again, please remember when you're dividing by a negative, when you're dividing both sides of an inequality by negative, the sign reverses. So I'm left with x is less than or equal to. 1 divided by -4 is a -1/4. So the solution set to this inequality is the set of all real numbers that are less than, smaller than, or possibly equal to a -1/4. Okay, my next inequality has decimals. Now, again, I want you to pay attention. -0.3 times the quantity x minus 5 is one term. Remember, the x minus 5 is in a bubble. Plus is not in a bubble, so 0.2 is a new term. There's your next term. And of course, this 2 is a term, so you have 3 terms. I personally like to get rid of decimals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply everything through by 10. And remember, when you multiply by 10, it moves the decimal one place to the right. So when I multiply this first term through by 10, the 0.3 becomes 3, i.e. a -3. When I distribute that to the bubble, I get the opposite of 3x plus 15. 0.2 is a separate term. When I multiply it by 10, it becomes 2. And 2 is a separate term. 2 times 10 is 20. When I now collect like terms on the left-hand side of the inequality, I have the opposite of 3x plus 17 is larger or greater than 20. I subtract 17 from both sides of the inequality, which results in the opposite of 3x is greater than 3. And my final step involves division by a negative, which causes the inequality sign to flip or reverse. X is less than. 3 divided by -3 is -1. So the solution here is the set of all real, the solution set is the set of all real numbers such that x is smaller than -1. Okay,